Today we're checking out BAND-MAID. This is Dice. If you guys haven't heard this in headphones, you really should. It was interesting how they split the channels with the guitars there. Love that bass intro. Just absolutely love the crap out of it. I believe her name is Misa. I have mispronounced all of these girls' names that were ladies' names at one point in time. Fantastic power, just able to come out and lead. And Connie just having a good time back there on the drums. That's a great way to just feature those two that aren't necessarily out front so much. Again, I'm curious how much of the writing process that Misa has in comparison to the other band members, because she gets featured quite a bit for bands that don't really love to feature bass. She's just good enough to be featured, but she gets put out there quite a bit. I love it. Let's back it up. Great drum work. Listen to the hi-hat, which is that cymbal that you see right there. And nothing's necessarily per se changed with the overall beat of the song from what I can tell, and I'm not an expert drummer by any means or a music aficionado just because I happen to play, but she's just doing some stuff with this hi-hat that is kind of off, almost makes it feel offbeat. Big juicy BAND-MAID chorus. They kind of get away with that big, giant, easy chorus for me every time, because they do so much in every other part of the song, from the fact that they hardly ever repeat themselves, note for note per se, and all the other different dynamic things they do. They get away with that for me and most people. Those kind of bigger BAND-MAID poppier type choruses, which there's nothing wrong with that. It's just another element that they have. The little bridge spot right before that chorus, it was pretty interesting for me. It was actually one of my favorite parts of BAND-MAID songs so far at this point. Let me see if I can kind of grab it again. There's nothing too intricate about it. It just worked well. Working that hi-hat, just adding that different element. This is a fantastic riff set. The way that they dropped out of what they were playing and into that almost felt like we were going to get that as the chorus. And I waited to comment on that because I kind of thought that was the chorus, and I was like, man, that's the best chorus I've heard from them so far, because it wasn't your typical big chorus. But I don't know why I like this so much. It is not... There's nothing overly unique about what she's playing. It's just a completely, in BAND-MAID fashion, it's just a completely different style riff that they came from to get into this. And they did it so well that you don't realize, unless you are, a musician, how much of a different element that was. No, it just caught me. Sometimes you don't know why. come back to it, but we don't come back to it. Okay. I actually really am appreciating the confidence, and I don't know at what point in time in their career that this video came out, but I do believe, try to get the names right here, I think it's Miku. It's fantastic for me to see how much confidence she has now, even though it's in a video setting, and I've been in many full production videos. If you want to see me in some, there's a link in the description for my band. We do a lot of them. Not as many as them, but she's just overwhelming confidence is coming off of her, and deservedly so. She's actually doing some non-standard stuff on the guitar that, again, I don't know how long she's been playing the guitar at this point, because I know she wasn't playing the guitar and then she learned how to play the guitar. I believe Konami is who taught her how to play the guitar. So the fact that she was in a band that existed, and I know the story about how she thought it made sense for Psyche to take over the vocals and all that stuff, but the amount of power and confidence that she's at least portraying for me in this video is really a good thing to see if you know of the story, and you guys know her story way more than I do. I know about that much of it, but even with the little bit that I know, it's impressive, man. I mean, it's not easy to do any of this, let alone to learn it while you're doing it, and then to play at a level that you can play along with Konami, because they were doing some intricate picking patterns there, which again, they aren't overly ridiculously difficult. We're not talking about Joe Satriani, Yngwie Malmsteen type stuff here, but regardless of that, it's not easy either, especially when you're playing in harmonization or in synchronization with another guitar player. I mean, they were note for note, step for step, but she's just so confident, and I admire that in her quite a bit because of what she's been through, how she put the band together, the step back in singing, and putting somebody that she thought was better for that role in that spot, combined with learning to play the guitar at this level. I get her confidence. It's great to see. Look at her. She's just kicking ass. Right here. Even more impressive, all three of them did it together, really. They're pretty much, whether harmonizing or in synchronization, which is both are happening here, they're all three just laying down essentially note for note, style for style, part for part, almost a match if you didn't know better. It's really impressive that they were able to do that and tightly stay together. And again, with the experience level of her on guitar, learning how to play, this is obviously done in the studio, I get all that, but my God, fantastic job in putting that together and staying solid and tight with everybody there. Let's check that again. Love this spot. I know I'm stopping a lot, and I know you guys don't mind that, but just the transition of energy. It's just almost feels like a beat change because it's just an energy change, but it works so stinking well. Mood changes. An inspirational riff. I really like the depth that Psyche is showing me in that. Yummy, yummy. She kind of hit low for a second. Yummy. I think that's a level that she's probably gone to before, but it never stuck out to me. So I was really enjoying hearing her kind of get to that lower depth. It's not very low, but in comparison to where they sing a lot, it was just a partial, and she just kind of went down to a range that I hadn't really seen stick out from her. I know she's done it before, but I haven't really paid attention to it. I think it's coming up right here. Yep. Yummy. She did it again! She did it again! She did this to me in another video. Maybe it was Play. I don't remember what. Maybe it was Domination. I don't know. Long story short, some of you who have watched multiples of these BAND-MAID reactions from me, you've seen me in one video. I believe we were supposed to get a solo from her, and she kind of started amping up into this lead part, and then she cut it off. And it felt like it was just supposed to keep going and getting bigger and better and bigger and better. And it didn't. And she just did the damn thing to me again. Like, I was ready for that to go for another minute and a half and just let her show off. That being said, I don't know who my favorite member of the band is so far. Who's yours? And why? You guys can talk about that in the comments. It's going to change every video, and every video is going to become my next favorite BAND-MAID song. You guys have all made me aware of that. I don't disagree with you. I think, is it Misa? Is Misa my favorite so far? You guys watch my videos. Who am I talking about the most? Is it everybody? But I don't know. I'm just overly impressed with Misa, and I don't know if it's just because you don't get to see the bass just get so featured, and it's just not so prominent, and just seems like it's such a heavy part of the songwriting process, which... It's not that it doesn't happen, but it just doesn't always happen, especially in a lot of the music that I come from the listening world of, the thrash metal scene. A lot of that is really just complementary to the guitar, is what the bass is doing. If you talk to a lot of metal or rock bass players or guitar players or bands, somebody in the comments I think said this one day. Somebody put it, bass might be the easier to learn, but it's the more difficult to play. That's not always the case, but I'm glad I keep seeing them together, because Misa and Konami they don't have a battle here, but we start out with real strong with Misa in this, and then it leads into her solo section, which just isn't long enough. I'm going to see if I can catch that again, just because I really need to figure out at this stage, who do I prefer? And it might be, I don't know, it might even be Miku, just because of the confidence that she's showing in this. And I don't know what order these were released in, so I don't know what year this was compared to Thrill and Domination and Play, but she just is raving with confidence right now, almost like she's gotten to that hilltop. So now she's really sticking out as a favorite for me as well, too. I can say great things about all of them, but I lean towards those guitar players just a little bit. That's just kind of how I go. But let's see if we can catch this right quick. Who's your favorite? Do you have one? It's kind of like kids. And every parent's got a favorite kid. You're just not allowed to really talk about it. Here we go. Featured. Great. And she leaves you wanting more. talking about this solo a little bit because I do play the guitar, so let's talk about the guitar. One of the things she incorporates here, which I like, is a use of full chords or ghost chord type strategy. I don't know exactly what she played there, but a lot of lead guitar, especially in the space that I come from, which is that metal space, a lot of it is all about showing how you can use your fingers and, you know, how fast you can move them and tap them and all that stuff. And I know they can do that too. But she actually writes what is perfect for the song, where she comes up, shows a little finger work, little detail work, then pulls into full chords, and really just runs up and down the neck a little bit for those full chords. And she's not just constantly putting herself in a position where she's just shred soloing, if that makes sense. Right there. Another change. Very punk poppy. Opening up the guitar. There we go. You guys will probably laugh your ass off at me when you see me do these things, don't you? Come on, let's drive it. Killer. Nice riff. That's actually a cool little riff. There's a little bit of detail in that last guitar riff that most people probably will miss. It's a guitar player thing. Well, that was BAND-MAID. That song was called Dice. That was, of course, awesome. I don't know. Who's your favorite member? How many songs have you listened to? I don't know where you're at in your BAND-MAID journey, but I think that's 4 now. I've got Domination, I've got Play, I've got Thrill. Now we've got Dice. We've got more coming. I'm a fan. I am a fan for sure. They've always got those big juicy, and I say this a lot about Sabaton, so this is a compliment. They've got that big juicy sing-along chorus that's very fan-friendly, very hum-friendly. They definitely write choruses that you will find yourself humming tomorrow. Even if you don't hear the song again, somehow tomorrow that song will get in your head. Just that chorus. They played the hell out of it too. They kind of went a little bit long with it for me on the inside of the song. That being said, I have written songs that my band has played, such as, for example, our song Pieces, that does the same damn thing. So I can sit here and be like, I didn't really love that as much because it kind of went a little long there. I am guilty of writing songs that do that. Sometimes that's just what's best for the song. Let's hit the chorus again. Highly impressed with all of them. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more camera work on Akane, but she had some great moments in that with that hi-hat work that we were talking about, and some of that cross-up work that you see at the end of the video here to just kind of change it a little bit was really cool. I'm not a drummer, so I can't detail technically what she's doing there. Hell, half the time I can't musically tell you exactly what's happening on the guitar. I can just tell you from the perspective of somebody who plays it but didn't, master it. So that's what I try to do. We find something different in every video. I found that confidence that I was looking for from Miku. And if I've gotten any of their names wrong, I promise you I'm trying. I promise you. But I like that confidence from her. I think the other Thrill was not live. The other 2 were live. And it's not that she lacked confidence live by any means, but it just didn't come off as that. And I know she's at a different partner journey depending on whether she plays the guitar versus doesn't play the guitar and so on and so forth. I was just really happy to see that. She shined a little bit visually for me here. But Misa and Konami. They're kind of battling out right now for the favorite spot in old Massive Metal's heart here. I'm sure that'll change. My understanding is every time I watch a new BAND-MAID video, it'll become my next best favorite video. So I'm assuming that every time I watch a BAND-MAID video, I'm going to find something new that's going to make me change who my favorite person in the band is. You're welcome. I am apparently becoming one of you. So I thank you for that. I'm just an old school metalhead. Always have been and always will be. If you want to become a better music fan and listener of music, regardless of your genre, go check out more BAND-MAID. If you just want to trust my opinion on it, I've got a few on the playlist. Check it out. They do pretty much. I mean, I haven't heard country yet, I don't think, but I bet they do it somewhere. Haven't heard rap yet. Have they do some rap? Do they do some rap metal? Do they do some rap country shit? Is that what we're gonna hear? Well, BAND-MAID community, I once again say well done. As an old school metalhead that always has been and always will be, go check out more of this if you're not. And for those Maidiacs, right? Maidiacs in the BAND-MAID family, I once again thank you for having me.